We're starting the process with the worktop facing down and the cutout already made. This is a sink with internal dimensions of 400 by 400. It's a stainless steel, and since it will be undermounted, our cutout is 390 by 390, which is about 5 millimeters narrower from each side to allow for a small lip over the sink. We're now marking out the external dimension of the sink to make sure we can position it at the exact center of the cutout whilst we're working upside down. Make sure it fits nicely within the lines, and this will mean that the sink and the cutout are perfectly aligned and center. Now let's mark the points where we'll be making the brass insert holes, which is going to be 25 millimeters away from the external lines we just drew, and we'll be using those brass inserts to attach the sink to the worktop. And just a quick reminder here, the reason why we're doing this is because we cannot use screws directly on the worktops. Okay, you cannot screw into compact laminate worktops. This drill is 6.35 millimeters in diameter, and the holes need to be 7 millimeters in depth. To ensure we do not drill through the entire material and ruin our worktop and our day by mistake, I would highly recommend taping the 7 millimeter mark on your drill bit. Also, another little warning: if you have drainage grooves, make sure the insert holes we're making do not coincide with the grooves on the other side of the worktop. Otherwise, you might end up with a hole through the worktop even though your brass insert holes are only 7 millimeters. Put the brass inserts in with the slotted end going in first, and then lightly tap until they go in completely. By the way, those brass inserts should be within the sink fixing kit if you are buying a brand new sink, or you can also find them within any compact laminate installation kit. You probably are wondering if those inserts will be able to hold the sink in place, but please do not worry. Those inserts will expand further when you put the screw in, and the connection will become even stronger. Inserts are in, silicone is applied, and it's time to position the sink. Again, we're going to use the lines we drew in the beginning to ensure the sink and the cutouts are perfectly aligned. With this fixing here, you have three things. You have the screw itself, you have a washer, and you also have the so-called wing nut, okay? You will notice that the screw is very long, but that's okay because the screw is supposed to just go into the insert. The tightening and the holding of the sink will be done by the wing nut. Once we're done with the screws, our job is done and completed too. The sink is now fitted and secured. Finally, the way you attach compacts to the cabinets is by simply siliconing or gluing them on top, okay? You don't need to use any screws because in general, you cannot use screws with compact laminates, and you don't need to use the brass inserts, just glue them on top. That will get the job done perfectly. Well, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out, and I will see you on the next one.